Hey, Healthy Gamers, it's Jack here. I got something different for you today, as you can probably tell by the ridiculously long runtime on this video. So this is more of a podcast type video where myself, Matt Visual, and then Psycho Power Ranger got together to just talk leveling and figure out kind of the most efficient routes and what we're going to be doing on release. Because, you know, we all three run YouTube channels, so our goal is to hit 80 as fast as possible so that we can pump out some good content. Now, you know, that you don't have to do that, and certainly I would probably recommend not stressing out, not trying to be super efficient or trying to get level 80 as fast as you can. But this does contain quite a bit of good advice that you can take and just incorporate it into your own playing. That'll help you out and help you, you know, just level more efficiently. If you're going to be out doing PvE stuff, might as well, you know, pick up some gathering materials and craft a little bit along the way to help out all your different levels and then help out your experience as well. So that's what this guide covers. Feel free to just let this run in the background while you do other stuff. There's nothing, like no video stuff that you're gonna want to see or miss. So just let it run, listen to our awesome commentary, and hopefully this helps you in the leveling. And now we'll get right into it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another Let's Talk, should we say, or a discussion of leveling. Today we got Jack Jones, which is the healthy gamer. Jack Jones?
Yep, this is me. Hello.
That is you. And we got Psycho Power Ranger
there,
a.k.a. Luke.
Yo,
A.k.a. Cool Man Luke. And then
Luke.
And then you got me, Matt Visual, here. So we're just going to be talking about leveling and give you some pointers of what we're going to be doing when the game goes into Head Start. What is our plan for launch? To get up to level 80 as fast as we can. I guess the first step would be logging in. First step will be logging in and creating our character here.
Yeah, let's talk about whenever you get in the game, what kind of things do you need to do to prepare to level as quickly as possible? Do you need to gather anything in your inventory? What kind of things do you need to like be ready?
From my experience, because I was leveling up in the stress test, I was like, okay, first thing I got to do is go to get some money. I got to find out the best way to get some quick cash so I can go get some gathering tools. Because I realize how much gathering really gives you a lot of XP. Especially the human area, Luke, which you were telling me. When I saw like the map, I was like, whoa, there's so many gathering like right by the heart. So it's just like, just mine them right there and then go cut some wood. And it just gives you like around like 62 XP, I think. No.
It depends it depends on your level.
Right, okay. So it scales on your level. Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what I was trying to get at. So you would want to roll a human because there's a lot of just gathering nodes in their starting areas, right?
Yeah, and they're also extremely obvious. Like in some of the other areas, they'll be in, like, if you're looking for stones, for example, it's extremely obvious in the human area where the stones would be. There's a lot of mountain ranges and stuff like that. But in other places, since they try to make it look aesthetically cool, it kind of confuses what is a mountain and what isn't. And, like, it makes it harder for you to find, like, specific resources because the world's is essentially like either all a mountain, kind of like in the Char Zone, or like there isn't farms all over the place like in the human zone, so it's hard to find the plants that you're looking for because you don't just go around where the farms are to find that. So it's actually a little bit easier in that sense too to find stuff in the human zone.
Cool. And then is it whenever you're gathering, can you gather everything at once? Or can you only focus on like mining? You know, World of Warcraft, you can only focus on like one or two gathering skills. How does that work?
You can actually use all of them. You grab yourself all three tools. You got your pickaxe, you got your soul, and you have your axe, and you can chop down trees, gather plants off the ground, and you can mine all the nodes. And most things have multiple uses. So like stone can be used for jewel crafting, and it can be used for armor smithing and weapon making, as well as plants can be used for cooking, and they can also be used for the like artificer.
And pro tip, please don't make the mistake I did. When you buy your tools, they're really cheap. You know, make sure you double click it in your inventory to equip them, because you're just gonna sit there and like, oh, you don't have the gathering tools. Oh, I do. They're in my inventory. No, you have to actually equip them. To actually
I went through
be
the
able
whole
to do it.
stress test, not being able to gather because I didn't understand how those tools worked. I was like, they're in my inventory. They're right there. What do you mean I don't have it?
Exactly. I can't
I didn't
believe I
have
was
that
playing without gathering. People are like, dude, like, why aren't you picking up stuff? Why aren't you blah, blah, blah? I'm like, what, why? What's the point? Like, and it's so fun. You go around
Right.
and you have, you get a salvage kit, right? That's probably one of the things we should add into salvage kit
Oh, yeah.
and your gathering tools, right? Hopefully you have enough cash to get some of that. So you pick up anything off the floor. You go in your inventory. You click the little gearbox on the top right-hand corner, and you go, okay, send all my collectibles to my bank. And your bank can hold each, like, 255 collectibles of each type in your bank. Am I correct?
I've never maxed out on something.
It just, I'm pretty sure there's like a max number, because if you could just put as much as you want, that would be amazing. But you know,
255 would probably.
we're asking too much here. So
Wait. So hold on. I have no idea what this option is. You're basically sending all the stuff you gather straight to your bank from your inventory, like instantly?
Exactly,
Oh my
wherever you are. So you could just be
It keeps
gathering
yours-
over and over and over again.
Yeah, it keeps your inventory clean. You can keep fighting for a real long time before you ever have to go back, because with the use of the salvage kit, you can just salvage down all your materials as well as just put them all into your bank, and you can just keep on fighting unless you are looking to just sell your materials, in which case you'll have to go find some of the stuff.
Exactly. So you get gear you don't want, salvage, send to your bank. Salvage, send to your bank. Gather, send to your bank. Just keep sending it to your bank over and over again. There's not gonna, your bank is not going to get full of stuff if you just keep sending it to your bank. And so you can just go through the whole area and just be fine and equip the stuff that you need and just salvage your old gear, send it to your bank. So when you're getting ready to craft, you know, and you can get any profession you want. And I think I'm pretty sure you can switch, right? It costs some money, but you can switch once you max level 1 with
Yep.
the crafting. So
And you won't lose. You don't lose your original EXP or like leveling from that past skill. So like in other MMOs or most MMOs, when you switch over to a new profession or whatever you're doing, you'll lose all of that experience. You have to start at level 1 again to do, if you wanted to do that again. In this game, if you switch over and you want to start working on weaponsmithing and you just maxed out on like armor making, then if you wanted to go back, you just pay the money to go back and you're same level of armor making.
Awesome. So yeah, let's talk about why would people want to gather materials. Seems like maybe coming from WoW, that seems like a waste of time if you're trying to level quickly. Why do you want to gather materials and why do you want to craft?
All right. Well, first off, one of the biggest reasons why you're going to want to do it is because it's one of the best ways to get experience, because there is a thing called Daily Gatherer. And every time you hit a percentage of that gather for the day, you'll get essentially as much EXP as if you did a heart or dynamic event. So that's extremely helpful. On top of that, it will also give you the ability to work towards your monthly completions, where you do dynamic events, you do gathering, you kill enemies, and all of that will contribute to your monthly goals, which also gives you a lot of experience.
So essentially
just
these
that
are
itself.
these are like achievements, right? You're working towards them, and as you hit mile markers, you get rewards.
Correct, yes.
Awesome.
So to do an overview, you make your character, you get out into the world, you do a few hearts to get some money, you go back, you get your crafting, you get your salvage kit if you have the amount of money. So basically when you're going around doing the dynamic events, you're doing the hearts, you will see a marker on your mini map saying, oh, there's something that you can gather. You just go gather it real quick. It gives you a big bonus of XP when you gather. So you just do it real quick. It takes a couple seconds, and you just keep following your friends. So over and over, you keep doing it, so you send it to your bank. So you get XP for doing this. Now later on, when you have some time after you finish an area, you can go back and go start crafting, and you get XP for that as well. And if you have a boost, that'll be even better. So you just keep discovering through crafting, discover, and then you just get with all the crafting materials that you had for just doing everything in the area. You couldn't get the...
Let's talk about hearts real quick. Maybe some people coming in, they haven't played the stress test, they don't know what hearts are. Can you just explain, like, basically how these hearts work in Guild Wars 2, how it's different than... Because we don't have a traditional quest hub in Guild Wars 2. You're not going to go to some guy and they're not going to send you to, like, this quest hub, do a quest here, and go to another quest hub. So how did the hearts work?
So the hearts are like, they're essentially the questing system for Guild Wars 2. You go into a specific area, and there's somebody in that area who wants you to help them in some way, shape, or form, be it feeding their cattle or killing some enemies or even some weird things like turning into a pig and finding, like, worms in the ground. So, like, essentially, that's your way to gain experience and reputation, and it's a great way for you to meet up with other people because they stem into dynamic events. So it's a system that's it's flowing, but it's also the quest system of the game.
Okay, and yeah, just a heart is going to show up on your map. You hit M, it's going to be a little heart, and so you go to that guy, and it's going to be a quest there. And then,
right. And if you can't find any hearts, look for like a spyglass on your map, and that's called a scout. And a scout will reveal hearts and other important information on your map for you.
Yeah, that's huge. Anytime you go to a new area, just click the guy and let him reveal the map for you. That's huge.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's essentially direction with the personal story as well. I mean, you get out, you see the scout, you click the scout, it tells you what hearts and what level they are on the map, and you just kind of follow the hearts throughout the whole map. And plus, you can do your personal story as well, which also will give you a boost in XP as well, and kind of give you guidance of where to go in the whole map. Because I met some people and they're like, oh, you know, it's kind of confusing. Like you just toss it out there, you know, kind of like Fallout. You know, you just toss out there and you don't know exactly where to go. You know, just follow the hearts, and within those hearts, the dynamic events are going to be there as well to help you complete the hearts as well.
So would you recommend, say, when I was leveling, I was kind of going between hearts, and then whenever I was high enough level for my personal quest, because the personal quest will be, it shows up as a green dot on your map, and it gives you a level, you know, recommended level. So I was going to my personal quest every time I got high enough, and then going back to farming hearts and dynamic events to level up. Would you recommend doing that, or finishing an area and then clearing out your personal quest? What's the most efficient way?
I would probably recommend finishing the area, so you could just do it all in one go. But I mean, you can, like, the way how the personal story works is that it will go from like different sections of the map. So like the first section, there'll be a lot of personal story there, and then it'll just drop from one area to the next, just like that. And through that area, you have to go do a lot of hearts and dynamic events. For us, we're probably gonna Luke? We're probably gonna finish the whole map and then go back through the personal story, and then clear everything in one go.
In the early levels, yeah, we'll clear the whole map and then we will do the personal story. But later on, as you start getting a little bit less experience, we'll probably clear portions of the map, then do the personal story, then portions of the map, personal story, and then keep moving on like that. So early levels, just finish the whole map until probably around level 20, and then start doing a section of the map so that every time you're around 3 levels higher than what the recommendation for the personal story is, then you do the personal story till it's up to where you're at. Then you get 3 levels higher again, up to where you're at, 3 levels higher, up to where you're at, and then that's how you run through.
And okay, so another question popped up in my mind. So we're talking about hearts and dynamic events. Hearts are the static quest givers. They're always there. Dynamic events show up orange on your map, and those usually occur around a heart. And if you just participate in it, they'll give you stated goals. Kill all the bandits that are coming. If you do that, you'll get a big XP boost. So I'm what I'm wondering is, do you want to even kill mobs aside from doing hearts and dynamic events, or do you want to just run on by?
What you're going to want to do is if it's a mob you haven't killed for the day, you kill it. If it's a mob you've never killed before, you kill 10 of them. Otherwise, run past it because there is a daily achievement for killing different monsters up to 100%. So you'll want to kill specific monsters depending on that. There's also achievements, just a net achievement for killing 10 of a specific monster and then 50, but just kill 10 because that'll save you time. You can come back and do those achievements later. And otherwise, you might as well just run past them and find dynamic events because they won't give you that much experience later on in the game. Early level, that's totally fine, but later, you're just going to want to move on past the dynamic events and just do your hearts in those.
Okay, so to recap, when we start out, we want to gather up our crafting tools, make sure we equip them. Then we want to go to the different hearts and do the heart quests along with any dynamic events. If you come across new mobs, you want to kill those, kill 10. Otherwise, just run on by. You just want to focus on gathering, going to hearts, and the dynamic events.
Yep.
Right.
Most likely fall in the hearts.
Also, this should have been touched on for a second. If you aren't going to be doing the cooking profession, then what you're going to want to do is buy food from the auction house because food on top of giving you a bonus to your strength will also give you a bonus to 10% more experience from killing mobs, and that will add up as you're leveling up. So it's important that you grab yourself some sort of food, anything to be honest, just so you can get that 10% bonus.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to talk about why you recommend doing cooking?
So my favorite leveling profession right now would be cooking because it is mostly money and karma based, and now you're thinking that's a little too steep for me, but for lower levels it's not that expensive because later levels it'll be more expensive, but the lower levels aren't, and that's when you want to do it because you're a low level, you want to level up. So it's easy to get all the materials because of this, because most of them come from the NPCs. So, and that's a non-playable computer for those who do not know. And that will make it so that you can gain a couple levels right off the bat, even before you've really gone anywhere. So besides that, it'll also give you the 10% experience, and then you won't have to constantly buy them from people. You can just keep leveling up that and keep giving yourself the 10% experience bonus. So all in all, it's the best for gaining experience.
Right. So together with the boost that we're going to be buying, which of course you guys don't need to, and some of them you even get free when you quest, we're going to be running 60% experience.
Right.
Yeah. Actually, I have one more quick question about crafting before we talk about boosts. You can have 2 crafting, right?
Yes.
So are there any that you recommend that would synergize well with cooking, or is it the other one just basically whatever you want to do?
What's really cool is you don't need all your professions don't need to be the same, or they don't need to synergize. There's really nothing there for that, but what I would personally get would either be leatherworker or armorer because they have the ability to make bag slots.
Right.
And that's going to be really helpful for early game because you can hold more without having to stop, all kinds of things like that. I personally would go armor over leatherworker because leatherworkers, you need to kill mobs to get the things that you need to get, as opposed to the armorer who doesn't have to do that. He just gets his nodes and stuff like that, which is, in my opinion, a little bit more efficient.
But if you do want to wear whatever you craft, then you might want to pick the correct crafter. You know, the armor smith is for the soldiers, right? The heavy armor, and then the leather worker is for the light.
Yes. Oh, well, the leather worker is for the medium.
For the medium, and what is the light one?
Tailor is light.
Tailor is light. So if you want to wear, if you want to wear what you craft, you might want to pick that one instead.
Right.
So can they craft bags as well?
I would assume so. I've never explored in a tailor.
Yeah, I mean that would seem like that would make sense of leather worker and
yeah,
and
they probably did. they probably made it like that so that every class would have a bag maker instead of just the leather workers.
I'm going to be doing a lot of sewing for my elementalists. It's going to be awesome.
Also, this is a quick little tidbit for all of you people who are going to play right when the game launches. Go straight to World v. World. The reason being, nothing is captured yet. Each and every point is considered a dynamic event, which means you can get yourself from level 1 to like level 4 or even level 6, depending on how early you get in and how well your server does in the beginning. You can just get tons of levels in no time at all, as well as build influence for your guild and get a large bonus of karma and gold right off the bat. And it doesn't even interfere with all of your other hearts and dynamic events, so it will essentially put you slightly ahead of everybody else because you just got free quests and dynamic events that nobody else had. So that's something that's actually really, really helpful and something that those who are going to be logging in immediately should do.
Definitely.
That's brilliant.
Just to touch on what we were just talking about before, Taylor can actually craft cloth bags. So every armor class, essentially, armor crafting can craft bags. So light, just to touch on who's what, light armor, which is Taylor, is Elementalist, Mesmer, and Necro. The leatherworking is Engineer, Ranger, and Thief. That's for medium armor. And for the armor smithing is Guardian and Warrior. All right, so what we have so far is get inside the game, go straight to World v. World, get all the grayed out dynamic events, capturing the keeps. Then hopefully that will give you some money if that actually works. Go get your crafting tools. Then go get your salvage kit. Get some food for the trip. So nom nom on to get you that 10% XP. If you're planning on buying gems to level up a little bit faster, get yourself a bundle. If you get 5 for 500, Luke, that's what you told us.
Yep. You'll get 5 EXPs for 500 gems.
And they're all like 1 hour each, so that's like 5 hours of just a 50% boost. And you just go out there with a group of friends and just dominate the hearts, pretty much in dynamic events.
When you're rolling with just a few people, you will crush everything. The way the scaling seems to work is it's most efficient the more people you have, just period. They really went the long haul to make sure that that's how it would work. So when you're running with like a group of 5, or if you can get 2 groups, like the more you got, the better. You'll just steamroll through everything and just like it'll be so much fun. Like seriously, it'll blow your mind.
Yeah, it's gonna be like having like a 40-man Molten Core raid while you're leveling. Like, you remember how fun they are. You're just interacting with people, talking with people, and then you're leveling. It's not the boring grind.
Right. Exactly. It doesn't even feel like it. Sometimes you'll look down and just be like, whoa, when did I get this level?
Nice.
It's crazy.
That's awesome. Oh, yeah, one quick thing I wanted to add. For people to get into World v. World, you just hit B, right? You hit B and just click Go to World v. World. Is that how that works?
That's exactly right.
Oh. So, yeah, that's a little bit different in Guild Wars 2. To kind of go to different places is more of an interface system rather than actually walking to places in-game. So that's the same way that PvP works. You'll just bring up your character panel by hitting H and then click Go to PvP. So it's a little bit different to get used to.
Right.
But do you want to talk about, just explain how the gem boost works? Because I had no idea these existed until we talked about it the other day.
All right. So there's several different gem boosts into the game. You'll go up into the store, the in-game store, and I don't know the hotkey, but it's in the top, and it's the Black Lion Trading. And you'll click on that, and you'll move over to Boosts. There's a tab on the top that says Boosts, and when you click on that, it'll have a slew of different choices, going from 50% more karma when you do things. You can get 50% more experience from killing enemies. There's even a killing spree one where you'll get 100% more experience, but it will run out after 30 seconds unless it will refresh every time you kill something. They have a 50% better chance to find magic items, as well as I believe there's a 50% boost to gold. I don't know if there's any more than that, but I do know for sure there's at least 5 boosts that are extremely helpful.
And then these are purchased with real money, right?
Correct. You'll buy gems, but there is also another alternative. You can actually trade in-game gold for gems that you can purchase from players via the auction house. So you can actually get all this via gold later on in the game once the market settles.
Right.
Interesting. And so I guess the biggest thing would be, if I were hearing this, I'd be like, oh man, it's a pay-to-win game. But the thing is, you're just trading basically money for time, right?
Right.
Right, but the thing is with money can't really buy everything. I mean, it can buy a lot of crafting stuff, but when it comes down to, dungeons and, the high tier armor, you're going to have to do a lot more stuff than just have money. There's going to be karma. That's another currency, and I'm pretty sure there's dungeon currency as well to get Pacific armor as well.
So this is not like Diablo 3 where you're going to spend $250 to buy all your upgrades. This is just
no.
You're getting little
this is just
boosts
experience.
To help you level faster.
Exactly. They're boosts that will get you more experience, or it'll essentially just get you things like faster, but it won't get you things that are unobtainable unless you buy them via the store.
Yeah, exactly.
So
mostly just cosmetics
you,
and boosts, pretty much.
Exactly, cosmetics and boosts. There's no, I have to buy this sword from here because there's no way it's going to drop somewhere else. None of that happens in this game. It's all just time savers and cosmetics.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's worth it to me because what it came out to, we figured out, was like $1 per hour of boost, basically.
Right.
I mean, so you got to think: is your time worth $1 to you? And I would rather level 50% faster because I can go do something else and make some money.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
What else can you think of as far as leveling goes?
I guess I could touch more on the store since we're in this spot, and something else that will really help leveling via crafting. So in the store, there's also another section where you can buy like tools and things like that. And they're essentially just like how there's different tiers of salvage kits where it has a better percentage to salvage good things out of it. There's like the crude salvage kit, which has like a 20% chance of getting you a slightly better item, while like the elegant salvage kit, that's not an actual name for it, but that will have like an 80% chance of getting something cool and a 20% chance of getting like a really good item. In the store, you can actually get like the Black Lion pickaxe, the Black Lion sickle, the Black Lion axe, and the Black Lion salvage kit, and they all have a 100% chance to salvage like the rare things out of rocks or out of items. And what that'll be helpful for is making new gear in your crafting. And when you make new gear, you get a substantial EXP bonus for doing so. So when you get these from the salvage, or when you get these from the Black Lion Trading Center, it'll make it 100 times easier to level up even more just because of the 100% finding for like rare gems when you're mining or rare ambers when you're chopping down wood and stuff like that. So that's another really good way to level up.
Fascinating. So when you're talking, I had a question. So how are people going to know what zone to progress to? Like, say I finish all of the newbie quests in the newbie zone, where do I go from there?
So what you're going to need to do is open up your map, and whenever you're next to a new zone, it will show you the level of that zone. So say you're level 15 and you're in a level 1 through 15 zone. I don't believe there is any like that, but this is just for example. Once you're level 15, you're like, oh, well, now there's nothing left to do in here. I need to find a new zone. Well, you can look on the map, and all the zones are labeled with what experience of monsters are in there. So you're going to look for like a zone that's either like 15 to 25 or like a 10 to 20 zone and start leveling in that area to keep moving on. If you really want to progress, I would go to the 15 to 25 zone, and there's two reasons for this. One is you won't have to do any low-level quests, and those still give you less experience than high-level quests. It's not as drastic as other MMOs, but it will still give you less EXP. The second reason is there is a experience bonus for killing enemies who are a higher level than you. So if you're running, especially if you're running with a gang, make sure you're fighting monsters that are like 5 levels higher than you if you're in a gang, because you'll get way more experience for it. If you're by yourself, just fight monsters that are like 1 or 2 levels higher than you and keep progressing that way, because you will get an EXP bonus depending on the level of the monster.
So what's the cycle through the map we're gonna be doing when we start at the head start? Are we gonna be going straight to Queendale and then where?
I actually need to pull up a map.
Because I mean, basically, most of the time I feel like I get under-leveled when I complete the map. That I need a little bit more. But if I'm running with a group and we're running through like dynamic events like that, you know, it might be a lot, you know, better experience than what I'm seeing in the last couple of beta weekend events.
Quick question: crafting nodes or gathering nodes, are they like there for each individual, or are we going to be fighting over them in our group?
Gathering nodes are instanced, which means they're just specific to you. They'll all be in the same area, so like you'll see like if you're with a bunch of people, you'll even see like 4 people smacking at the same tree, but each and every one of you will be getting that item.
Right.
That's awesome. They did everything right in this game.
They sure did. Like, oh, you know, I want to be like, oh, snap, you know, there's one over there. Let me not say anything. Let me just sneak by.
Right.
Sneak.
Like, hey, Luke's 10 levels higher than us because he stole all the nodes.
Right.
Right. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, so I got another quick question. Whenever people log in first in, how are they going to find their friends? What if they get put on like an overflow shard? Can you talk a little bit, explain the idea of all these overflow shards, and then how are you going to get with your friends on the same map?
I mean,
how does that whole system work?
when you're in a party with your friend and you're on the same map, all you do is right-click them and join their server. So if your friend is in the overflow server and he's in your party and he's like, oh, you know, I'm in the same place you are. I'm like, and we're like, no, you're not. And then we just right-click on him and just join his. So I don't know particularly what it says, but you just said it just says join, and you just join in on the server that he's on, and you guys can meet up that way.
Awesome. And even more basic than that, how do parties work? How do you get into one? What are the max numbers?
I mean,
you make?
I know. There's a group of 5. There's a group of 5, and there is something like I'm looking for a party system as well. And when you press Y to your contacts, like looking for a party, there's one of those as well. I don't know how many people are going to be using it, but it's there, and you have a max of 5. So all you have to do is just kind of invite anyone. You could do it from your friends list. You could do it from your guild. You could do it from anywhere, pretty much. And you use their ID, their actual real account name, which you can change, by the way. If people did not know, I'll probably leave a link, or someone will leave a link in the description. You can actually change your ID name. I'm pretty sure if it's not taken. So my ID name is Matt Visual, but I have characters that are, you know, blah blah blah, Visual Aim or something like that. Right.
So it's like the real ID system.
Right.
Right. Wow. So it's kind of like it's like any Blizzard game has that kind of thing.
So I'm not gonna be able to hide from you guys on my alts.
No.
Basically.
No. Oh, he's on. Let's go bother him.
Damn it.
Give me money.
Yeah. How if we have because I think we're gonna have a bunch of people at release, way more than, you know, a party of 5. How do we get all those guys together? How's that gonna work?
There is no way at the moment. I mean, what the squad thing, that's only for World v World, from what I can understand. What the system I'm gonna be doing, since I'm gonna have a party way bigger than 5, especially because the guild is gonna be running with me while we try to level up to level 80. what's going to happen is everyone who's in the guild, their name tag is going to be yellow or gold, should I say. So basically, we'll be able to see each other on the, not on the map, but like if they're in your area, you'll be able to see their name tag that's bright gold. Now, what the system that we're going to be trying to do is that we're going to have multiple parties, right? And if one person is by one of the other person that we're following, we can follow that person on the map, because if everyone that's in the party, you can see them on the map as a big blue dot.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you can try to target people. You can like control click someone and target someone who's probably not in your party, and you can follow them. So you see a big red target all over on their head, and you can just follow that. If you get separated, it's easy just to whisper somebody, hey, where you're at, come to this area, if one of your party members are not following the person.
Also, you can actually make your own custom chat channels. So you could just make it make a chat channel that is designed for like your guild essentially, and then just have them all in that chat channel instead. So then you can just keep in contact with everybody in just one channel instead of having to use all chat or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can use that chat to control click a waypoint. If you guys want to meet at a specific waypoint, you just control click, this waypoint, and then it's click on it
I
and
love
waypoint.
that.
Yeah.
Wait,
Kind of like
explain that some more.
Kind of like, how in World of Warcraft, this is a good example, you control click an item and it puts it in the chat, and then you enter and everybody can see it.
Mm-hmm.
In this game, you can control click a waypoint on the map, and it'll put it into the chat bar, and you hit enter, and when they click on it, it'll pull up the map and move their like view to that waypoint, so they all know where it is.
And waypoints they're like the square things that you can click to teleport to them, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
You
That's
can just
awesome.
walk by them, and that's a good dose of XP as well. Getting all those waypoints.
Oh, yeah.
And highly useful.
You want to grab waypoints.
Yeah.
The things that I'll probably not be striving too hard to grab early would be the vistas and the points of interest, because they don't give you too high of a experience bonus, and some of them are highly out of the way and will be a lot of time wasted in terms of walking.
Right.
So the ones that I'll be grabbing are the ones that are right next to me, like, there's a vista right above me, might as well grab it. Or there's a point of interest right there, might as well grab it. But if I see one that I missed, like I only have like 13 out of 15 of the points of interest, I'm just going to leave them and come back at another time, because that would be a waste of time to just run just to get like literally a fraction of the XP you'd get for doing a heart or something.
Exactly, and then mobs will be attacking you, and there's a
Yes.
dynamic event, and there's so much stuff in the
Exactly.
world to see, and it's just like,
Exactly.
oh man, you just totally mess it up instead of just going directly to another area and just getting a bunch of XP. All right, so one last refresh on what exactly our leveling plan is, and something to help you guys out is, first, you log in, you create your character, and you go straight to World v World, which will be pressing B and just going straight to World v World. And then you go and you try to take all the keeps that are grayed out, which haven't been touched yet. And you're going to get a lot of XP for that. And you're going to have a big boost that you're going to have over a lot of people. After that, after you finish that, then you can go, does the World v World give you money as well?
Yes, it gives you money, karma, and influence if you're in a guild.
If it gives you enough money, you can go straight to crafting, which I would probably go to Lion's Arch. So I'm going to walk all the way to Lion's Arch and go to the big town. All the way in the top corner in the middle of the map, there's going to be all the crafting people. So we're going to go to one of them and just ask and buy the lower end of the crafting materials the crafting gathering tools that you need, which is the pickaxe.
There's a single pickaxe and X.
There you go. Grab all three of them. Make sure you equip them. Get a salvage kit if you have enough for that. But definitely the three tools before the salvage kit. Then the salvage kit next. And if you have enough for that, you go with your group and go start through the hearts. And then gather stuff on the way.
Yep.
And then finally what you'll want to do is just keep following the map, essentially how the storyline will be taking you through. And if you do run low on EXP or something like that, go to another area that is for another race and do the corresponding level of area that you had just done, but in that race's area. So say you just did a level 15 to 25 area in the human zone, but you're a little bit below still and you need to get some more experience, head over to like the Char Silvari area that is level 15 to 25, pound out the rest of the quests, and then move on to a point that you can keep using.
Also, get some food from crafting. Get some, either buy it from the shop, or if someone is crafting, cooking already, get some food for the ride there. Some num-nums.
You can always have a guild ally who's using food,
Right.
or give you some too, because they'll have an over amount of food.
Right.
Because when you make food in any crafting, you always make multiples of it, and any cooker is going to have way too much food for themselves. So just always ask like a friend or a guildie who is a cook, and they can give you some too.